He should not be the face of the problem. And people in Congress who are yapping about him when they've said nothing about these other things are the worst. And when they're trading stocks and they won't even have a vote on the bill, they are the worst. They're the worst.
Hey there, welcome back to Pillarism. Let's get straight into it because most late-night pundits treat American corruption like a joke. On HBO's Overtime, Chris Cuomo completely lost patience with Bill Maher's cynical framing and staged a brutal, fact-driven intervention. Maher tried to fixate on a rogue soldier who made a $400,000 prediction market bet on a Venezuela military operation. Cuomo instantly shut it down, exposing the real villains. A hypocritical Congress trading insider stocks while everyday citizens foot the bill. He then eviscerated Maher's defense of DOJ firing squads as efficient, exposing the performance of macho brutality as fundamentally weak. Hit like and subscribe to Pillarism. Let's watch the exact seconds the media playbook backfired.
Government's approach be to regulating prediction markets and preventing insider trading? Oh, I know why they asked this, because you just made a move on that, right?
I sure did, yeah. We just signed an executive order banning anyone in Maryland state government from doing any type of predictions market game. It's really for two reasons. One, specifically on the prediction markets, it actually is ridiculous. So, for example, if you look at the most recent polls that we have seen, we're at around 57% approval rating, one of the higher numbers for any governor. If you look at the prediction markets on the probability that I'll win re-election, it's coming in around 97%, right? So, what was keeping me or my family from saying, you know what, we have an idea. Let's put a $250,000 bet that I won't win re-election. And then I just basically tank it in.
But I wanted to be grifting bets.
But I have an idea.
My grift.
Because I mean, it's crazy. And it's just like, it's ridiculous when you think about the type of grifting that goes on. And this was on the heels of a whole bunch of other stuff.
And yes, today, this was in the news. A soldier who was involved in the operation to get Maduro out of Venezuela, which was a success, by the way.
Yep.
Okay, we got to give success.
Yep.
Okay, he bet on it.
Yeah.
He won $400,000, and they asked Trump about it, and Trump said, "The whole world, unfortunately, has become somewhat of a casino."
No irony. No irony when he said it.
Because he used to have casino.
I gotta tell you,
but he's not wrong. The whole world has become a casino.
Yeah, because he's making it a casino.
Well, he certainly has contributed, yes.
Contributed?
Well,
Bill,
you think Poly Market wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Donald Trump? I think it would anyway.
I'll tell you what, it would absolutely exist.
Okay.
And I want to know if there's any chance that you're not going to run, by the way, because I will put in a bet right now. Because that's the way the corruption works these days. It's right in your face. I don't want to see this soldier be the face of this problem. Of course, what he did is wrong. That's easy. You're making billion-dollar oil bets minutes before the president makes an announcement. And no one on the right says anything except Anna Paulina Luna and 2 or 3 others who should all be heroized for this, in my opinion. The corruption is so in your face. Yes, what this cat did was wrong, okay? And he's going to suffer. But he should not be the face of the problem. And people in Congress who are yapping about him when they've said nothing about these other things are the worst. And when they're trading stocks and they won't even have a vote on the bill, they are the worst. They're the worst.
Let's pause right here because Cuomo just exposed the entire media shell game. Bill Maher wants to focus on an easy single-target story about a rogue soldier making a bet. But Cuomo completely flips the script, forcing the audience to look at the massive elephant in the room, a hypocritical United States Congress that gets rich off insider stock trading while regular people take the fall. He is refusing to let a systemic crisis be sanitized for entertainment. Let's jump back in as Cuomo tackles the absolute absurdity of the government bringing back firing squads.
Tomorrow, Congress could pass a law tomorrow doing what you did.
Right.
They could pass a law tomorrow preventing themselves from trading stocks. They're not doing it. They're not even bound by the employment discrimination laws that they've passed for everyone else. And we don't hold them accountable. We're just like, oh, I guess Congress just puts out press releases and holds hearings, and we fight over gerrymandering. Like, put the pressure where it belongs, not on the courts of whether they're going to uphold or strike this down. That is a statutory question, which means it's up to Congress.
How many people, if you did a survey, would even know who the congressperson is? One guy applauded. I don't even know what, I don't know if it was like, I do, or it was like, yeah, you're right, Bill. I don't know.
Well, their new approval rating is at 10%, and I would love to meet someone in the 10%. Who's like, yeah, they're crushing it out there.
It's them. It's them. It's who it is. It's them and the donors. You know, I mean, while we're all lining up to shoot people in the head.
I'm just saying, if you're going to do it, that's the way.
I think that there's an aspect of the death penalty that should matter, which is what is the social instruction? And I think that the reason they're doing this is that this administration is very embracing of brutality. He has a very misplaced sense of macho, this president. And yeah, we're just going to shoot you in the head is some kind of attempt to be tough. And it's not tough. It's weak. And I think these kinds of instructions, you know, look, this is the same story for all of our families. My family came to this country because they thought it was a place that was going to be better, that it was beautiful for opportunity, where they would have a chance, where they didn't have to worry about the oppression they had at home. That's not what we are with these kinds of things. If you want the death penalty, fine. It doesn't work, okay? It doesn't deter crime.
Well, it deters that criminal.
It is, yeah, it does, but it gives an instruction that death is okay, that murder is okay, killing is okay. It's not murder technically, killing is okay. I think the social instruction matters. I think when you're saying, yeah, we'll just shoot you in the head.
Well,
Speed and certainty are the two things that we know work against violent crime.
That's right.
and that's what I mean about being a Democrat who's able to talk about a subject like that, you know, in a more centrist way. You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
And it also matters that he's a guy who signed up, okay, at 17 to have to make that kind of life or death decision.
Right.
Because he wasn't a war correspondent, you know
Right.
what I mean? Like, this is a real warrior that you got sitting next to you. And I think that that matters, and I think it gives you a different perspective on how precious life is.
Okay.
What we just witnessed is the exact reason why so many Americans feel politically exhausted right now. When major media figures sit around a comfortable studio and treat the systematic dismantling of our democratic norms as just another late-night talking point, they are actively doing the Republican establishment's dirty work for them. The strategy of the right-wing ecosystem isn't just to win arguments on policy, it is to breed mass apathy. They want you to look at the corruption in Washington, throw your hands up, and believe that the entire system is just a rigged game that isn't worth your time. Because the moment everyday voters check out, authoritarianism clocks in. As we sit here in 2026, the stakes are simply too high for passive, both sides commentary. The MAGA wing is actively stripping away institutional guardrails, shielding their billionaire donors, and using the levers of government for pure political retribution. You cannot fight that level of coordinated extremism with cynical jokes, and you cannot sanitize their bad faith arguments just to keep the conversation polite. It requires absolute clarity and the courage to call out the rot directly to their faces. That is exactly why independent, pro-democracy media is vital right now. We cannot rely on the old guard to hold these power structures accountable. If you want analysis that cuts through the noise, rejects the spin, and actually defends the facts, hit the like button and subscribe to Pillarism. We are building a firewall against this kind of political theater, and we need you in the fight. See you in the next one.